it is a very special archaeological research because in our country this is the only place excavated in such way. I mean, 6 miles of tunnels, no? A lot. For example, in Teotihuacan, there are also tunnels, no? Inside, archaeological tunnels.
Can I turn on the light?
Yeah. Inside the moon or the sun pyramids, but are not open to public. No. So also these are research tunnels. We are very lucky, no, because a few of them are open.
Piece made of stone, in this case, a head made of stone. To see this at the outside, you know, because in that period,
So this tunnel was excavated in 1934-35. Although the research started in 1931, it was begun, no, in the northeast side, no. But when the explorers noticed this complexity of these monuments, they changed the strategy. No? So they opened this tunnel like a north-south axe, no, crossing everything, and then it is another from east to west. So in such way, they were identifying the different layers. No? So you can see, for example, no, you can see the stone slope, no, with the inner clay material, so you can see in both walls, so you can understand that it was crossed, this monument. And then also this tunnel is not complete, no? The strategy is this one. They identified something, no? And then they were digging alongside in order to understand the shape, no, of these monuments. And that's the reason why there are a lot of tunnels, no? Because explorers were trying to understand the shape, no, of any of these buildings. So they were digging around, no, upstairs, downstairs, everywhere. So look, behind us is one layer, no, one building layer. This is another.
Oh, I
so
see.
you can see the steps, no, there. You can see going there the same step, no. You can see it there, no. And again, no. It was identified this building, and then they were digging, no, guided by the same steps. Careful. And going down the stairs, logically, and upstairs. Look. So this is the kind of buildings, no, original, that were found by the archaeologists. So this monument, with the new research, could be part from the 6th pyramid, no. So the slope that we saw behind could be part from the 7th. Then look this. Sometimes visitors, when we talk about 8 pyramids, they say immediately, okay, these are like the Russian puppets, no, the Matryoshkas. That's very easy, no? I mean, one layer, and again, this is more like an onion. So with layers in a different way, not in a very regular. You can see that because look, this is a stair, but this is not the same one, no? On the side over there, no, in there. So this is like an attachment, no, a second layer. No? So if this is the pyramid number 6, so you can say that this is the layer 6A, no. So that's the reason why it's very complex, no? Very, very complex. And then you can see how easy is the erosion, because these are mud brick construction, but the outer layer of these monuments, no, is a stone material, but on bricks. So you can see that those can be removed easily. So let's go back. We were talking that this way. We are talking that the very edge of the pyramid, of the 8th pyramid, could be around the museum, no? So we can talk about now that the natural grounds level, no, is not the street's current level, no? It's below. No? So this construction begins down there. This is the stair landing, no? And then the next part of the same staircase. No? And you will see right here that is mud bricks construction core, the outer limestone layer, well, travertine stone layer, and at the very end, everything was plaster. No, everything was like smooth. No, and because this is not exposed, no, this is not outside. I mean, these steps are very well kept, no? And this is very special because everything is original, no? So look at these steps, no? In the same, I mean,
Oh, yes.
this is the stairs, no? You can see here, no? The steps. You can see the inner mud brick core, the outer travertine stone, and at the very end the plastering, no, work, no, a balustrade. That means that this is the staircase, no, facing to the north.
Of one of the original
Totally original, from the sixth pyramid.
sixth
Could
one.
be. So that building is dated around 300, 350 after Christ. So you can understand that we are walking from the latest constructions to the earliest. So for many years it was only understood about five pyramids only, no? But in our models have been exposed only those open to public, no? So this is the second pyramid with the skulls painted on top, like the building people's ancestors, no? With the skulls on top. Then you can understand how important, no, was the area to the Pre-Hispanic people, because this settlement is in a specific position, a specific location, no, surrounded by volcanoes. So that's so meaningful. So we have the peak from Orizaba, the highest volcano. In the Aztec language, its name is Tezcatlipoca. No? So we have another there, is the coffer from Perote. Again, its Nahuatl name is Naupancatepetl. No? Then we have another, Matlalcueye. It is known popularly like Malinche, no, volcano. So north, northeast, east, in the west side, the Popocatépetl and Iztaccíhuatl. No? So, and then, do you remember the black stain painted on the pyramid with the 9 tiers? We are right there.
Oh,
No? So, well, look. Like it. No?
very eerie.
And this pyramid, no? Thinking about the black stain, this is the pyramid number 5, no? In this new idea of 8 pyramids. And this is unique also, this building. Look, the steps going there, no? Look, the same steps going there. So this is the only pyramid working outside, or that worked outside with the steps all the way around. Usually the pyramids have stairs only in the middle, no? So this one, all around. People could get up upstairs, no? From everywhere. So in that way, it has been explained as a more public temple, no? So this step, if we think in the model at the museum, if we think about the black stain, these steps are not the very first steps. So this is the 22nd step, no? And in total, it has 125 steps in total. So this is the 22nd, the 23rd, and the second stair landing, no? And then more steps, landing, no? 9 times in So the top of this monument is 26 meters, no, up, no, and the bottom is 8 meters below. We will see that. So we are outside this pyramid. You can understand that by looking the steps, but also the rain gutters, no? Like this one. We are walking around. This monument was built around 250 after Christ. And then we must talk about that the carbon-14 datings are like, look here. There are more and more, step by step we have more and more, so the dating is like more accurate, step by step. And you can see, because there is a lot of carbon, that you can find it in the walls, so the testing material.
Did they use mortar when they were making the
Pyramid?
Or was it all just mud and stone?
No, it is something, some kind of mortar.
Oh, yes.
So look here, for example, this is the mud brick, but this is that kind of mortar.
Oh, I see.
No, so you can see the brick, mortar, brick, mortar. You can see also that the size of the bricks is very variable. No, we don't have like a standard. You can see that in some bricks, you have a lot of pottery, pieces of pottery, but there are some more that are not, the same quantity. So you can see like a kind of a community's work, everybody like making the mud bricks in their own way. The situation was that they must provide of those mud bricks, fastly.
So are these carvings here?
No, it's the people's, or in the excavation.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's another rain gather, so you can go and see more there. This is the second stair landing. You would see like the third one.
Oh, wow.
So we don't have this kind of like rocks art, or carving art.
Oh, okay.
We have a lot of paintings, on this. We don't have this in this model, but in the corner of this pyramid, in the southeast corner, the model is inverted. So the corner there, is in the other side. There are jaguars painted on this monument. Then you can see the tiny lines showing the steps. You can see there are all the way around, only interrupted by the rain gutters. And you can see that the number of rain gutters is not the same one.
Oh, I see. Yeah, there's more on that side.
And we can understand so that the rain gutters were not only functional, were like the decorative, or something. So must be like very very special the view on this monument at the rain season, like a waterfall, on the mountain, on the pyramid. And then the pyramid from the bottom to the top, the fifth pyramid. 34 meters high.
Oh, wow.
You can see down there the very first step, and then
All the way up.
125 steps.
125 in total?
34 meters.
Oh, wow.
And on top of the pyramid, I mean, this is the fifth, then we have the sixth, the seventh. So this excavation gets the top of this pyramid. So if we would find like the church foundation, no, we would excavate like 20 meters more. No? But it is not necessary.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything significant about the number of steps?
It is, but with this pyramid is very complicated.
Oh, see.
Yeah, look, you have 2 steps here. But when we saw this, the complete stair, look behind. You can see from that staircase to the rain gutter with my partners, with my partner, is only 1 step. So the number of steps is not homogeneous. And then you have the same here. We have here 2 steps, but then only 1. So in such a way, I mean, we cannot see like a complete meaning on the number of steps, no, because it's variable. But we have a certain sequence. No, I mean, Also, it's very variable, no? But we have a sequence. This construction begins with 12 steps and then flat. 11, flat. Then, how many do you think?
10?
Look like that.
No.
12, 11, 11.
Oh.
Then 12, 13. 11, 11. 12, 14. No? So, and that can be a kind of a date. No? So that's those numbers are like compared with some datings, with some dates from the Mayan cultures, no? And in the Mayan cultures, they number like their calendars with such numbers, no? Like 12, 11, 9, no? In this like diversity. So at least we have a clue, only. Well, this is a ventilation. Almost like an excavation, no, carried out at this program of research, no, but this is another building, and we have the same onion idea. So this is the pyramid number 5, but this is the layer 5B, no. The staircase behind, no, the complete one is 5A, no. So this construction, the 5th pyramid, has its layer 5A, B, C, D, E, and F. No? Complex. We have gotten the corner of the pyramid. So you can see it. No? This is the corner. Look, this step. No? See, this is the complete corner. No? Again and again. No? Then with the next step, it's lost. No? It's underground. So this is the corner, and this step here, no, that goes there. It is another layer. So this is 5C. No? In such way, you can understand and look forward. We are going to turn, then straight, and then again turn, that these constructions are not symmetric. No? So, but that's not like a unique characteristic from the Cholula's pyramid. We can see also that in the Mayan area, no? This lack of symmetry, and but the characteristics, the special characteristics from these monuments is that they are very large constructions, very wide, but not very tall. No, so for example, this pyramid, from east to west is 284 meters. No? The Cheops pyramid is 215. The Sun pyramid from Teotihuacan 224. No, 284. So, but the Cheops pyramid is 140 meters tall. This is only 34. So, our specialists or archaeologists have explained it's a kind of conceptual explanation about these monuments is that these characteristics of these monuments in our pre-Hispanic societies, all of them, replies mountains. No? So to our societies, to our pre-Hispanic societies, these pyramids were artificial mountains.
So these were solid construction?
Well, we don't know yet at all.
No.
Because these 6 miles of tunnels, these 10 kilometers of tunnels are outside. No?
Oh, they're outside.
I mean, showing the steps, showing the shape of these monuments. So we don't have enough excavations in the core. Also, you have one layer. I mean, 5th pyramid, 6th pyramid. The excavation is here parallel. But in between, in the core of the 6th pyramid,
nobody knows.
Nobody knows. No. And the expectation is big because now you should know that these pyramids were contemporary to the Teotihuacan pyramids, and currently in Teotihuacan, in the last 10-15 years now, have been found great offerings inside the Moon Pyramid and the Feathered Serpent Temple. No, in the Feathered Serpent Temple were found 70,000 artifacts. No, not exactly inside the pyramid, underneath the pyramid, in a tunnel, in a pre-Hispanic tunnel. Not 70,000 artifacts. No, In the Moon Pyramid, inside the Moon Pyramid, for example, were found 5 offerings, like 5 chambers of offerings, and one of them with 5 sacrifice people.
Oh,
no?
wow.
So this is like the possibility
Sure.
about offerings inside the pyramid. And it is very, very curious that in the Moon Pyramid there are offerings. In the Feathered Serpent Temple, but underneath, not inside, there are offerings. But in the Sun Pyramid, nothing.
Oh, really?
No, so
Which is the pyramid that they found all the mercury at the bottom?
the Feathered Serpent Temple.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. No. Let me see. Have you seen the Feathered Serpent Temple?
No, I haven't.
No. Okay. Let me show you. This is the Feathered Serpent Temple.
Oh, wow.
No? So underneath. In fact, that's very special because it's a Mercurio, no? Spring or something. And then in a chamber, a kind of chamber, that chamber is not regular, no? It's more like a cave. So they excavated something like a cave. And then the tunnel, no? No? So in that is 70,000 artifacts. And something, the archaeologists think that something besides the Mercurio spring was there. I mean, perhaps more offerings or even burials. But they have noticed that the tunnel, no, was made in the first time, no, and later it was closed again, and then it was open 1, 2, and 3 times.
Oh, wow.
So in one of those, no, they think that that thing that was there was stolen. No?
What do they think it was?
The king burial.
Oh, really?
No. But I mean, only hypothesis. No? It has been like because the Egyptian pyramids, by the way, it has been thought if inside the pyramids, the king's chambers, no? In the Mayan area, the archaeologists have found kings, no? Even queens, no? Inside the temples. So they have tried to do the same at Teotihuacan, no? Because that was like the axis mundi of that period, no? And not only from the Mexican high plateau, from the whole pre-Hispanic territory. And so they are always asking, okay, where are the king's burials? No? They must be like exposed or something. Not yet. No. So we hope that in the next years, we are talking no more than 5 years, the third pyramid is going to be surveyed in its west section, no? Because the archaeologists recently noticed that that section is like a pyramid, and then that section was elongated. Then is the fourth pyramid, but that section was not totally buried. Is the fourth. Then the fifth, and again. So this section was like reused, no, by many years. The question is why? So the idea is that someone or something is placed there. For that reason, it's going to be the first part to be surveyed. But we hope. So, usually visitors ask, where is the pyramid? Where is the Great Pyramid? Right here.
This is it.
With trees. Incomplete by these modern constructions, right, for example.
So how far down would you have to dig before you started to hit rock?
Well, let's talk about 50 centimeters.
Oh, not long.
So immediately you will find the mud bricks.
Yeah. Huh.
Or even less. So we need, that's very necessary currently. We need to cut some trees. Not remove it completely, but we need to adequate this vegetation. Because not only then in the last month we have a big plague of squirrels. You will see some of them.
Oh, really?
So because those, I mean, not only the pyramid is unsafe, but the church, and the church is the most important from Cholula currently. No, I mean, not always was the same importance. You take it, please. No? And
aquí tiene su permiso para grabar. Sí, está bien.
Gracias.
Adelante.
By the way, you visit another museum of the National Institute of Anthropological History. Today, you can use the same film information.
Oh, really? Oh, okay, cool.
So you can visit, for example, the Loreto Fortress or the Regional Museum from Puebla, the Loreto area, Fortress area, or some convents. So the same. Well, the volcanoes, Popocatépetl and Iztaccíhuatl. On the other side, Mexico City. Since 1994, it's not allowed anymore to get the crater of the Popocatépetl. You can hike till the top of the Iztaccíhuatl.
Is that smoke coming up the top, or is that?
Yeah,
that is. Oh,
it's
wow.
very active. Very active. That's the reason why it's not allowed.
Yeah.
And that has been, I mean, walking in between the volcanoes has been like always the fastest road, no? The fastest way to get the basin from Mexico City.
Oh, I see.
For many centuries, it was the most important trading route, no? To go there. And nowadays it's only like the pilgrims, the Guadalupe Virgin pilgrims. No? So that means that walking to Mexico City takes 3 days, no? In walking in between the volcanoes. Well, if we think about 439 meters per side, so that's from here till the museum. No? And we have that measurement. That's the natural ground level. That means that this was like the very last attachment section, no, from the 8th pyramid. So this is the very edge in its south side. You can see the layer of travertine stone on bricks, the plastering work, so the core completely made with mud bricks. No? If you see it, this platform, no, carefully, you can see that it was a platform of 1 tier, 2 tiers, and 3 tiers. No? But those 2 last were complete. The archaeologists were trying to find the complete flat platform over there. No? So they were digging. They were making like excavations also in that way, and the monument is not complete. So,
and that's original plaster?
Yeah. The reddish material, the scoria, that's new. And you can see our squirrels invasion. No? Look at
Yeah, all the holes.
Well, that's it. It is, by the way, look.
Yeah.
Can you see like a piece of pottery?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, obviously comes from the inside of that eroded part. No? So, the new archaeologist.
Yeah.
So, you can see that, you can understand that instead of more excavations, we need more
Cats. Gatos.
conservation program. So, and it's going to be carried out in a certain moment, no? Because nowadays it's like the tendency, and because this is the 6th most visited archaeological place in our country, so it's very possible, no? To be rebuilt.
What's that tunnel down there?
That's a drainage.
Oh, I see.
That's a drainage. That's new.
Oh, is it?
That's new. In order to identify those building sections that are restored, repaired, or rebuilt, among the bricks were placed white stones, no? Tiny white stones.
Oh, I see them. Yeah.
So that's the mark of conservation, renovation, I mean the rebuilding work, no? Or restoration. So in such way you can see that the plaster work is original. No? So the plaster work must be protected. No? I mean that's very like necessary. Look the quality of stone. No, white material. No, the travertine stone. So because pollution is like that.
Right,
Yeah.
I see. Were they original painted?
Well, not exactly this. I mean, we don't know about this. But for example, that small platform was painted.
Oh, I see.
So with this example, we can see also like this lack of conservation thinking, no? Because it was only exposed the monument in order to expose his paintings, no? And only that. So because it was not like conservation like interesting, no, to the archaeologists, no, now the paintings are lost. No? But that was painted. Then you can see again among these constructions this onion, no, idea, layers and layers. You can see, for example, okay, one layer, two layers, no, like two slopes. And you can understand that it's like complex because I mean we cannot explain this like the matruskas, because the layers sometimes could be immediately to the others, no, or more separated, so are not homogeneous, no.
And this is original here?
Yeah. So think about this. It's a great plaza facing, no, a big final platform.
Right.
No, at the end, no. And then in the middle, another plaza there. So because the size of this plaza, we know the size, no, we can understand that this is like a very public area, massive public area, and that was the main ruler ceremonial area, no? But you can see that this area, no, facing to the south is not like limited with more other buildings over there. So that means that a lot of people came here at the same time. No? More public temples. That is one of the characteristics of these monuments. So this plaza begins here. This floor is original and goes 300 meters over there and 60 meters over there. No, so
massive.
A great zócalo.
And this is where it begins?
Yeah. The archaeologists think, no, that because that like part there, no, it could be longer over there, but no, it's right here. It's right here, and obviously it's not uncovered completely in order to protect it, no, better.
That's weird how all those stones are all kind of diagonal.
But you know, that's interesting because you can see again, the participation of different people, no, making this, because at the end, no, everything was plastered, so the people couldn't see this. So it's
So it's
only
all plastered.
and so it's only like a kind of contribution of someone else, no?
Was it contribution or was it slavery?
Well, thinking about that, we don't have evidences of slavery.
No? Oh, okay.
Thinking about our paintings, well, look, they're smoking.
Oh, wow.
Agua. Agua fría, miren. Thinking about the slavery with our buildings, no, with everything, thinking about everything, we have this. We don't have evidences of slaves, but we have a painting where the people are getting drunk.
Okay.
So a very like opposite situation. we cannot talk about that, no, a lot.
Uh-huh.
434 human remains were found here. Those can be counted because through their skulls. So that means that the bodies were not complete, no, in several cases. So we cannot see, and it hasn't been studied, the characteristics. For example, thinking about the diet, no, of that people. Because it's possible to know that, at least if that diet was wood or bat. No? Through the tooth, you can, I mean, the specialists can analyze the dentine.
Oh, yes.
And through that they can see what kind of minerals are shaping that, no? And you can see, so the kind of diet, it was rich on something or precare, no, on something else. But we don't have those kind, no, of studies. But well, we have this. Also, this is like Catholic, no. This is colonial because we have the same in Spain, no. About the organization for protecting the churches. Thinking about a lot of churches from Cholula, no. There are 143 churches, active churches, no. We have this. There is a main brotherhood system in charge of any of these churches. So you can ask. I mean, everyone, every man, no, can ask, no, a church in order to be charged of the church, no, for 1 year. No? It's a voluntary work, and then, I mean, it's a community's work because also a single man asked to protect the church by himself. He is not going to protect the church only by himself, no. So he needs the help of the people of her quarter, of his quarter, no. So the people participate voluntarily, no. Nowadays by donating money, no. 30 years ago by working on the church, for example, cleaning up, no, decorating, no, rebuilding if the church was affected. So everything, the point is that everything is voluntary. The people are not forced to protect the churches. So in such a way we can think this, no? Work. So imagine it would be very meaningful if the people are building the God's temples, no? When they finish, how meaningful were, no, those temples. So think about the drinker ceremony. No?
Sure.
So kind of a devotion, no, devotional work. No? Well, this is the last construction before the abandonment, no, 830 because the eruption. This is the last one, but this is dated around 650 years after Christ. So what happened from 650 to 830, almost 200 years? The only answer that we have, no, at least, is that there were, I mean, no more buildings built, no, in these 200 years. So that's a big question, no? Why? Because from 50 years after Christ to 60 years, no, every time, no, almost each 50 years, no, again and again and again and again, no? But at this moment, and we have a possible answer to that question. These pair of stones were found broken in 26 pieces. The wall behind is new. Something was underneath because it is a void underneath, no? And we can be very sure that something was there because, look, in the other side, in the same axe, it is another on top of the steps. And underneath that, there were found snails, shells, and starfish, no? But that one, that like a pink or grayish stone on the steps, was found complete, no? Then that one here was found broken, but only in 2 pieces. One of those pieces at the bottom and the other next to it, no? So the question again, no? Why? The idea is that these were the ruler thrones. So at 650 there was a kind of political crisis between 2 political factions, no? And they were destroying the city, no? the city became very vulnerable, no?
So there was like a civil war?
Yeah, because we don't see like artifacts or for example arrow points, no, or knives that show like an invasion, no. So a civil war.
That was
And-
the same with the Incas.
And the same in Teotihuacan, no. So humans.
Yeah.
The idea is these were the ruler thrones,
Okay.
or the factions, the political two faction symbols.
Huh.
So the idea is that that stone was not destroyed because the offering underneath was not loot.
So that's a solid piece of stone?
Yeah.
Is it original to the area?
Well, not exactly around here,
Uh-huh.
but nearby.
How far?
44 kilometers on the east.
It's not the easiest trip.
It was respected. Although there was a kind of civil war, this was respected. So, because the feathered serpents.
What rock is it? Is it red
Marble.
granite? Marble.
Yeah, looks very different.
Yeah.
You can see that it was like since the beginning. This was the most meaningful stone. No? Different material. Both there are limestone. No? And the limestone outcrop is 7 kilometers.
So these ones are limestone,
Yeah.
and then this one is
Marble.
marble.
And it's only one piece and weighs 10 tons. No? The outcrop farther.
Any idea how they got it here?
Yeah, by sliding it
Sliding it.
on mud. No? At the rain season. In order to make it easy. So then come here, please. Because perhaps you have noticed that the plaza looks like an arena.
Right.
Like an amphitheater.
Yes.
So that's not common.
It's not common?
No, you have always or usually square plazas
Uh-huh.
or without a kind of specific shape, no?
Uh-huh.
But usually a square, no symmetric plazas. This is more like a amphitheater. No? So,
What is the significance of that big head?
well, do you remember the frog painted on top of the
Uh-huh.
mountain? Could be a representation of that frog.
Oh, is it?
No. So inside this plaza we have a very nice acoustics. No, we can talk each other. No, well, at a certain distance.
Sure.
No? But also we have this. Listen. Video on YouTube. No,
Uh-huh.
is the squeaky of a quetzal.
What is it?
A bird.
Oh.
So these are so beautiful birds, so beautiful. But they don't sing.
They squeak?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Have you seen the quetzales?
No.
No, or photos, whatever?
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, with the big long tails. Yeah.
Perfect, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Very simple.
Very crazy.
So, this sound, you can find this acoustics or this sound also at Teotihuacan or Chichen Itza, but not in this very clear way, no? And I mean, it's logic
Uh-huh.
because this is rounded, no? And there are 3 staircases.
Huh.
So the sound comes, no, from the 3 staircases to the central part. In the Chichen Itza or Teotihuacan examples, we clap in front of only 1 staircase. So this is better. The sound is kept inside the plaza, so people walking outside or up there can hear only the clapping sound. The sound is also possible by drums.
Oh, really?
So, like in this way, it's a Chichen Itza or Teotihuacan. So you can see that it's better at the center. So think about the ceremonies, by playing drums, drinking a lot of alcohol. And then another particular special design detail of these monuments are those slopes. No, you can see there with those kind of incomplete crosses or T letters. No, and in low or high relief. But also you can see how concave are those slopes. So that's a unique design.
What are the meaning? Or sorry?
We haven't seen that kind of design in another place.
Oh, really? Just here?
No, these concave slopes. So the meaning is that this could explain water, no? Like, no? Scrolls of moving water. So, well, and paintings. Those are original paintings. Look, the starfish. No, can
Where?
you see it?
Oh, yeah.
The 5 fingers.
Yeah.
No? Some kind of starfish. You can see a little bit more of the same painting over there. Look.
Oh, yeah. Let me see if I can zoom in.
So, well, 500, 600 after Christ paintings. No? Totally original. And also, they are not very well protected because they are dried. No? I mean, the roof, no, underneath the roof, no, it is hot. It's like the very adequate weather to keep the paintings in a kind of, I mean, enough, no, protected way. So I'm telling that because the Drinkers mural painting is inside that tunnel, at that gate. So it's not very warm like this. It is not open to public, but it's too damaged. It's worse than those, no? And it's worse than those because humidity. No, it's a complete mud bricks construction, so it's too damaged. Show you the Drinkers mural painting photo.
Okay.
From 1971. It was found in 1969. No? So 40 years later than this photo. Well, look this.
Oh, wow.
And humidity.
Is that because they opened it up?
No.
Oh, really?
Because the wall, no, the core of the mural painting is too humid, no? For that reason, the colors are good. No? So, let me see. You can see again these people, no, only a pair of servants. So you can see that these are not any people, no, could be shamans. No? And then usually we say, why is not protected? So because the lack of money. Now in this case it has been enough money, but it hasn't been possible to recover the painting. So again, no, this is a small pyramid right here. So this is the original material of the pyramid.
This right here?
Yeah, this one. This is the material.
Oh, really?
Yeah, look at the walls.
Oh, yes.
This is a pyramid, no? So this is, I mean, this must be protected, no? At least with a new layer of grass, no? At least. You can see the nopal,
Yes.
no, growing on the scoria. So with these examples, with these small examples, you can understand that it was only the erosion, no, that has destroyed the Great Pyramid. No? That is enough. The Mexican architect that led this research, the tunnels, no, excavation, and this process of excavation from 1966 to 1971 was Ignacio Marquina Barredo. So he was from Mexico City, and he was an amazing architect. He participated at the reconstruction of the Kukulkan Pyramid in Chichen Itza, at the exploration of the Sun Pyramid from Teotihuacan. He made the model of the Mexico Tenochtitlan city, the Aztec capital. He made all the model, no? and only by reading the written Spanish information, not by digging, no? So, and as an architect, no, he was very focused on the reconstruction of these pyramids. To him, it doesn't matter if those look like authentic or not, no. So he argued that the reconstruction, no, would approach us, no, to see how were the monuments, no.
Mm-hmm.
But only he explained that the reconstruction would protect better these monuments, no? So after years, I mean, that idea was polemic, was criticized because the loss of authenticity.
Right. So all of this with the rocks and the little white rocks, that's all reconstruction?
That's right. No? So if we remove that new materials, we will see the mud brick core,
Right, okay.
no? So it was like this, no? Just like this. So after years, we can see that the architect arguments must be taken. No?
Mm-hmm.
Another like I mean, kind of simple way of preservation would be the reconstruction of the plastering work. No, I mean, we can like protect the original, no, surviving plastering work with something else, and then a new. No? So that's more necessary. Unfortunately, we don't have those more necessary projects.
That's a big undertaking.
We don't have an archaeological excavation research program. Although there are archaeological excavations nowadays, no, but those are not into research, no, projects. There are, we call those kind only rescue excavations. So when someone is going to build or has been built something, no, and if they found something, they warn the archaeologist institution. The archaeologists go to supervise. They register the information. They take the artifacts wherever. That's all. No? So those artifacts usually go to storages. So no more research.
Right. What is this here?
This is one of the few surviving altars from the latest culture, the Cholulteca. So it was abandoned. No? New people came. New people reused the mountain for their rain ritual place. And at the bottom of the mountain, these kind of altars were built. No?
Is that the original size, just 4 steps, or is there more to it below?
No, that's the original size.
That's it?
So you can see that this is a very later construction than those. No? And at the bottom, that's the reason why it's very special, at the bottom of these steps were found skulls. 2 skulls of decapitated children.
Oh, wow.
And deformed also.
Deformed?
So these kids were chosen since babies. Their skulls were wrapped in a certain way.
With the elongated heads.
Well, some kind, no? Frontal.
Oh,
no?
interesting.
And around their 8 years old maximum, no? Boom,
Oh.
decapitated.
Huh.
So we know that at that time, I mean, we are talking about 1300s, 1400s, 1500s, kids at the Mexican high plateau were offered to rain. No? Were offered basically to control rain. No? I mean, not only for asking rain.
What's that relief right there built into the third step?
Well,
like
some of the offerings, no, those 434 human remains were not complete, no, all of them. So some of them were found, the skulls especially, inside pots,
Oh,
no?
okay.
And one of those pots was found there.
Oh, wow.
No? So that's the reason why, no, the expectation about offerings inside this, no, is big.
Is the expectation of lots of treasure, lots of gold and silver?
No.
No?
No, because for thinking about that and thinking about the time, the period of these monuments,
Uh-huh.
silver or gold were not so meaningful, no, at this moment. With the Aztecs later cultures, no, with the, for example, the Mixtecas, the area from Oaxaca, later culture, the gold was more important. But not as important as jade or turquoise. No? So the expectation about those treasures is about jade.
Jade.
Jade, turquoise, or obsidian.
Uh-huh.
No? Those.
Is jade mined near here?
No.
No.
That's the
how far?
reason why it's like very valuable, very special. The outcrop of jade is in Guatemala.
Oh, okay.
No? And the outcrop of turquoise is in New Mexico.
Huh.
No?
So were they trading with would it be the Mayan of Guatemala? Yeah.
Yeah. And they were trading, I mean, with the, Navajo ancestors or something. And the Mayan ancestors, no? They were trading with those with obsidian. Because the area is volcanic area.
Right, yeah.
So, and I mean, it has been like in a certain way easy to find a Mexican high plateau obsidian at the Mayan area or at the north from Mexico.
Oh, wow. Is that original wall right there?
No, that's new because inside there is another tunnel.
Oh,
But this is original.
this is original.
This building, no, you can see.
Ah, yes.
And you can see again, no, why these constructions must be like plastered at the end, because this rock is not very solid. No, it's heavy, no, but it's not very solid.
It has an interesting sound to it.
Yeah, no, because the kind of minerals, no,
Yeah.
and well, you can see, no, I mean, it's not so solid.
No.
No. It's easy to carve.
Right.
No, also.
But they didn't do rock carvings, you said, right?
Sorry.
They didn't do lots of rock carvings?
Aha, exactly, only this.
Huh.
No? So the moss is mud brick. Very local material.
Yeah.
And the travertine stone is the same than the limestone outcrop, 7 kilometers. Very easy. So our architect Ignacio Marquina, the leader of this exploration, with their arguments now of reconstruction, took the decision to rebuild this. Also, only the darker material sections are original.
Okay.
Only those. No? So the polemic was that it like shouldn't be built in such way because only that is original. But our architect explained, okay, we are talking about the Great Pyramid, but people don't understand that. So let's show the people something to understand
Sure.
that. So he argumented that this was because those designs, that part like reddish is original. So he argumented that these like kind of designs were kind of nobility symbols of power, So because those are original, he rebuilt this. He argumented that this was the most important access stairways on the Great Pyramid. No? So at least, I mean, he tried to show the people not only the staircase, he tried to force the people to think about the complete mountain as a pyramid. The problem is that the argumentation is very solid, but it's not like comprehensible to everybody, because sometimes visitors are disappointed with this, no?
Why?
Because they are looking the Great Pyramid,
Okay.
and they say this cannot be the Great Pyramid, the largest pyramid around the world, so you are fraud. No, so.
It is impressive, definitely.
But you can see that, I mean, because we understand that the mountain is a complete pyramid, and this is only the main staircase. I mean, that's impressive, you know. But well, people don't get guides, so. The steps are also new. It was rebuilt with cement and iron bars, no? But well, it shows us something, you know, at least that works. And we have like the architect reconstruction in his drawings, no? I mean, for argumenting the reconstruction of this. Look. To him, this is a pyramid. No? So we understand easily that the pathway to the church is a new pathway. No? That means that, I mean, like the pathway to the church is over here. It was broken, the pyramid, in a certain part in order to make that. And that's the reason why if you climb that, you will see, well, there are those trees, no? How cut, no? Is a pyramid, and you will see like the mud bricks again. No? So, let me show you finally this pair of images. This is a comparison with the Celts, Egyptian. Not all, but. And this is from the comparison with our Mexican different places, pyramids. So well. So basically our place is famous, our archaeological site is famous because 6 reasons. No? The tunnels, the Great Pyramid, the largest in the world, is basement. The plaza, rounded, the marble altar, no? The 5th pyramid with the steps all around, not only in the middle, and the drinkers mural painting. No? So with that, it's enough. So well, if you don't have questions, I finished my job here.
Okay.
No? This is all yours.
Okay. What is this right here?
It's an incomplete sculpture. No?
Okay.
It had been carving, no? But it was broken. No?
Is that its original spot? Oh, really?
Yeah. But it was not associated with any artifact, with any pottery. So that means that it was not like complete. No? And if you see, this part is not very well carved, and the
other side is
better.
Oh, I see.
No? Better work. No? In fact, if you compare the hole on this side, it's better here. It's like better ended.
What does the hole do? Does it line
the
up
problem
with the
is that because when
solstice?
this was like carved, no? When this was being carving, no? It was broken, so never was like placing its function.
Oh, it's broken during carving?
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. But well, some archaeologists think that could be a kind of astronomical sunsets marker or something like that.
Is there a lot of astrological stuff with this pyramid?
Not at all, but we have this, for example, because these monuments were contemporary to the Teotihuacan, they share the same location, the same north-magnetic deviations, no? On the north-south axis. So in such a way, for example, we share that On February the 7th, on February the 8th, in both places, no, we have, if you place over there, no, a little bit higher, you will see around, let's see, 8 o'clock, no, the sun rising, no, exactly above the mountain pyramid, no? So behind the church. So that's not like a coincidence, no?
Right.
And you have the same in Teotihuacan with the sun pyramid. No? So in general, I mean, also it's like a few information still about this, but we understand this like astronomical context with agriculture. So in February, the peasants, the farmers, are selecting the seeds that must be cultivated. And they are like taking, I mean, into the Catholic rituals, they are taking those seeds to the churches during February to be blessed. No? So then on March, now is the time to prepare the land. No? And in April, then it is the time to cultivate, no? Because in May the rain season.
Right.
So you can see that these like phenomena are marking periods of this agriculture, no? Cycle. No? So, well, at least we have that.
Yeah.
So well.
Very interesting. Yeah.